Well, good evening, everyone. We are so glad you're here with us to learn about X39. I am Tina Mann. I'm an executive director with Lifewave, and I am absolutely honored to share with you tonight about this incredible technology. So be prepared to hear some incredible testimonies and learn about this technology. And I'm not Terry Beatley. You might see Terry Beatley's name under me, but like I said, I am Tina Mann. I'm in Wichita, Kansas, which is south of Wichita, and I love being a part of this company. So the big question we start off with is, have you been patched? A lot of you on this call might already be patching. You're already brand partners, you're already customers, you love the products, and you want to share this with everyone you possibly can because it makes such a difference in people's lives. Well, I always like to share a little bit about what I experienced. Terry talked to me for a long time before I finally said I'm going to try these patches. But I was dealing with chronic anxiety. I had migraine headaches that were just taking over my life. I was having really bad heart palpitations to the point where they were getting serious and I needed to do something about them, but I didn't really want to address it quite yet. I was sleeping like a zombie. It was a lot of things, but I thought I was okay. I thought, I'm good. And I did a lot of good things for my body, but those were some areas that I was just really struggling with. And within a very short period of time, my migraines went away, and that was big for me. My heart palpitations started subsiding. I have no heart palpitations anymore now, and I sleep so much better. And I have a 30-year-old scar, and I'll have to put this picture up so everybody can see it sometime. What happened with this scar that I had for over 30 years from an accident I was in, and it's like looks like a thin line now. It's pretty remarkable the things that have happened in my life, and not even, and then I could go on and on and on about my husband's health and my children's health. So it's been amazing for us. These patches elevate, activate, and regenerate our stem cells. They elevate a peptide to signal the brain to wake them up. So it's super cool. This is David Schmidt. David Schmidt is the CEO and the inventor of X39. He has actually over 200 patents. This is a little bit older slide. So he's a brilliant scientist and inventor, and he started specializing in age reversing. So in 2008, David started really focusing his attention on stem cell research. And we hear about stem cells all the time now. It's a buzzword. People are injecting stem cells. People are getting stem cell transplants. There's all these things they're having. People are using animal stem cells and all kinds of things. But the cool thing about this product, it's our own stem cells that it's working with, which I love. So his recent patent, the X39, took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So it was a big feat to bring this incredible technology to the world. The cool thing about it, we have a 20-year patent on the X39. And David had to literally prove to the patent office through clinical study and trials that it actually did indeed do what he said it was going to do. It's the embodiments as a result of elevating the copper peptide, the GHKCU copper peptide. It includes activation of stem cell, improvements in energy, and the elevation of antioxidants. This is what our patent says. This is what the X39 patent says, and he had to prove that it indeed did do that, which is amazing. And he was able to get a 20-year patent on the X39 stem cell activation patch. So why X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, the fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age and the slower we heal and the more aches and pains we have, and our hair gets not as pretty, and all these, and we wrinkle, and these things happen, and our legs hurt and our elbows hurt as our stem cells start going dormant. As we age, they start going dormant. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing these symptoms. And I didn't even know this until I started with Lifewave, but by the age of 30, only half of your stem cells are active. And to me, 30-year-olds are very young, but half of their stem cells have already gone dormant at that age. By the age of 60, we've lost almost all stem cell activity. Our stem cells are still there, but they don't work anymore. They're like hibernating asleep. So that's the beauty of this amazing patch. With the elevation of that peptide, it starts to wake them up all throughout our body. It's just really cool. And before I move on, I want to have my dear friend, Rebecca Easterly. Rebecca, are you on? I'm assuming you're probably on. Rebecca and her husband have had tremendous results with the patch and what this technology has done for them. So, Chris, if you could pin Rebecca, I want Rebecca
I don't
to share.
necessarily see her on. I see Patty though. If you
Okay.
want to,
Well, we actually, well, then let's start with Patty because I know Miss Patty is on. Yeah, so and Patty and Ronnie Davis, they've had tremendous benefits with the patches as well. So Patty, I'm going to let you share, you and Ronnie, what has happened in your life since you've been patching. Patty and Ronnie live in the Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. They're precious people. I love them dearly, and I've been so thrilled to get to know them and experience everything that they've been able to experience with the patches. So Patty, I'm going to let you take it from here.
you can put
Great.
your video on now if you could, please. Thank you.
Who, me?
Yes, Patty, so I can pin
Oh,
you.
I've never done this, so let me do that.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but sorry, I'm taking over.
We'd love to see her pretty face though, if you can. If you can.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Is it there?
Yep, we got you.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
There
There you are.
you are. Let me see you.
All right, we're on the patio here, so but thank you, Tina, for that introduction. You're precious to us too, you and Chris. We're so grateful. That's another benefit of this company is meeting wonderful people like
Mhm.
you. And you're kind of responsible for us being part of this company. Right. Someone cared enough about us to share this with us. They knew the health challenges we were having, and that's Tina and our mutual friend, Butch and Sherry Corridori. And they called us up one day and they said they have something that is incredible, and it was like Star Wars or Star Trek technology. I'm like, what in the heck are you talking about? And so he sent me some information. I researched it and I'm very diligent and I liked what I saw. And I just said, if this does half of what they say it's going to do or can do, I am definitely going to try it. So, and we did. And like about 3 days after I took a look, Sherry had lent me some patches and I had gone to work. And um, our story is my husband 8 years ago was diagnosed with CLL, which is a blood disorder. And we had been battling with that. I had gotten very emotional about it because I had lost my brother after a year when he was diagnosed. So,
Mm.
yeah, sorry. So, when I found out Ronnie had it, it just changed our world. So when we took a look at this, I thought it's all natural, nothing goes into your skin. Let me try it. And within 3 days, he had come to where I work at, and I'm a bartender at a American Legion, and we have a lot of friends that we've known forever, like for 30 and 40 years. So they've seen Ronnie throughout the years and what he was going through. And one of my nurse friends said to me, what are you doing? I said, what are you talking about with Ronnie? She says, his color's back in his face. He looks so
Mm.
much better. And that really woke me up. I said, the only thing I've done different is I put this patch on him. So 3 days later, his color was back. He wasn't so ghosty looking and everything. And
Mm.
so we had been going to the doctors on a monthly basis, and then he his numbers started getting better, and I thought, could it be the patch? I'm not going to say anything yet. So we go again and we go again, and then the doctor changed us to 2 months, every 2 months, and now we're on every 3 months. His numbers have just improved dramatically. He was anemic for 3 years. His red blood cell count is normal now, and his white blood cell count was over the top. And it is now back to where it was about 7 years ago. So we're really happy about that. And we just, I can't believe what it's done for him. And
That's so
with,
awesome.
Yeah, Karen,
yes.
to
And that was another thing. I said, we've been going through a
be
lot.
objective.
Yes, we've been going through so much. I was not going to put anything in or on my husband that would hurt him. And when this is all natural, and all it does was activates our stem cells, and from our own body heat, I thought, well, let's give it a try. So when
Yeah.
with me, at the time, I was battling with really bad back. I was diagnosed with a hairline fracture, and as I said, I bought, and I also work at a high-end Italian restaurant on the Intercoastal down in beautiful South Florida. I'm rubbing it in a little bit, but
For us Midwesterners.
and the downfall of that is we have no mats behind our bar. So I'm on hard, like marble floors, and I'm on my feet like 6, 7, 8 hours a night. And, with my back problem, there's no way I could have been doing that if I wasn't wearing this patch every single day. So, I do have normal aches and pains from working that many hours, but nothing like I had over a year ago. And I'm just so forever grateful for you, Tina, and for Sherry for caring enough to share.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys sharing and giving other people hope. Thank you so much, Patty and Ronnie. We love you guys and just really relish in these testimonies. They're powerful, and you can help your family and your friends just like we've been able to help Patty and Ronnie and many others. So here's another gentleman that we have introduced through a friend of a friend. His name is Gibby. He lives in Oklahoma City area, and Gibby had an aneurysm that affected him like a stroke would. So the entire right side of his body was paralyzed, and he couldn't drive. He couldn't do anything on that whole right side. You can see in this picture, the first picture is him his first day on the patch. The next side, the right side is 14 days of him wearing the patch, and you can visibly see his eyes are brighter, his face looks better, the swelling in his neck is down, and he told his wife that his face didn't feel heavy anymore, and that was after 14 days, and he's continued to improve. I mean, it's such a blessing that we have to offer people what these patches can do. And then the picture on the right, this is actually a gentleman that's in Terry's organization. He had been dealing with this ulcer on his foot from a sugar disease that we won't name, but you all know what I mean. But on the far left, he had been dealing with that for 3 years, and they could not get it under control. Once he started on the patch, within 60 days, it had started healing. And within 90 days, it was almost completely healed. So this was a miraculous healing for him. And this changed his quality of life. This is a really big deal, how much better his quality of life is since he was introduced to the X39. How does the X39 work, you might ask? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's simply light therapy. Our body is full of light. We are light beings, and it's so cool. God made us that way. So it's a patented nanocrystal technology, and it reflects light to activate. So I kind of compare it to when we go out in the sunshine, and I love the sun. I love being out in the sunshine. And when enough of our skin is exposed, we feel the heat of the sun, and it elevates our vitamin D, and it feels good. This is the same concept, except it's with our inner light. It's working on the inside of us by elevating that peptide to signal the brain to wake up the stem cells. So it's non-transdermal, no drugs or chemicals or stimulants, nothing's going into the body, and it's non-invasive. It's just a simple little round patch that you put on your body like a Band-Aid. And now I want to introduce, before we go on to that one, I want to introduce my friend Rebecca. Rebecca, are you on now? Miss Rebecca Easterly, my sweet friend. I don't know if she's on yet. Oh, she is. Okay, Chris, can you pin Miss Rebecca? Rebecca is my dear friend from Oklahoma, and she lives in the Oklahoma City area. And her husband have had tremendous benefits from the patches, and I'm so grateful that I talked to Rebecca to get her to start
that she
patching.
did.
Because it has been life-changing for her and her husband. So Rebecca, I'm going to let you take it from here and share your testimony.
Okay. And no matter how many times a person does a testimony, when it's your own or your loved ones, it's personal. It's it for us, it rocks my core every time I do it, because I go through the emotions of what we were going through when everything happened. So I sometimes get emotional, but I am 64 years old, and I have had, since I was in my 30s, I was diagnosed with lupus. and I have mild Crohn's, and I've had that for years. And so I have had many doctors. I have had many appointments, but we had about 7 years ago, we had just a little meniscus that we needed to have a little repair on, and took care of that. Did great. Went to Costa Rica for the Christmas and came back, and I went back to my doctor and I said, "You've got to do something. My knee is in so much pain." And that's when we realized that I was one of the million, that I'd lost the blood supply to my left knee, to the leg portion, from just that little meniscus surgery that we had. So for a year, I wore a brace that, opened it, trying to get the blood supply back, and it just wouldn't come. So the doctor's like, "Okay, we're gonna have to do a full knee replacement because your bones are starting to shatter because of no blood supply." And that surgery went great. I was like, "Anybody that needs a knee surgery, do it. This is great. It's the best thing ever. I'm back living life again." And a year later, it's like, "Oh wow, the pain's really starting to hurt again." And went in. Of course, my doctor had retired, and we went in, and they're like, "Wow, the glue has come off of all the apparatus in your knee. You're going to have a complete revision. We're going to have to take everything out and start over, and with a new doctor." So my body went through the revision is an extra major, complete knee replacement. And I did that in a 2-year period. So already I'd been hit hard, from that. I never did get where my knee was working well. For 5 years, my left knee ran a temperature and was swollen. 2 times a year, they would come in and they would drain it because it was so swollen. It'd be difficult for me to be bending it, and would always run, all the blood work and everything, and I'll check all the fluids in it. Like nothing ever showed up. So we had, a large bone and joint place here in Oklahoma City that was looking at it. I then switched to another doctor, going, "Someone has to help me. I cannot live with a knee that I can't use hardly." And too bad, so sad was pretty much the thing. I then contracted, in the middle of all that, Rocky Mountain fever. And when the Rocky Mountain fever hit, it not only did it attack my body, but something from it, and once again, don't know for sure what, started attacking my immune system, even though we had gotten rid of what we felt like was Rocky Mountain fever. So the only thing they could think of, they said, "Well, let's put you on chemotherapy." And this bone and joint hospital said, "Let's put you on chemotherapy and try to get rid of it." And whatever it is that's, attacking your immune, because my numbers were all skyrocketed. I had primary doctors working with me. We were visiting with Mayo. I was scheduled to go up to Mayo. They already had all of my work, because we just had so many weird things and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And in July, a year ago, a year ago, that's when Tina reached out, and we were like, "Thanks, Tina. We love you. We definitely, we know that your heart is in the right place, but a patch just, doesn't sound like something that we're that interested in." And I mean, I did not see one. She, of course, lives in Wichita. We're in Oklahoma, and I kept thinking, a patch, it looks like a Band-Aid to me. And finally, in October, my husband finally said, "You know what? She wants you to try it so bad." He said, just order the minimal thing." And he said, "That way we can say, yes, we have tried it." I had no idea that one little order that we placed, and we got these little patches, that it would change the quality of our lives. My husband has a neurological disease that was hitting us pretty hard. And that's, I had it for him. So I ordered it for him, put it in his name and everything. And third day, 3 days, October 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. 19th, he walked in the door. It was like almost like the man I married was back. I mean, there was life back in his eyes. The energy that he had was almost, he's like, "Well, gosh, we've lived here for a year and a half, and I haven't done any projects." I'm like, "Oh, no, I've been paying people because you haven't been able to, do anything." And I decided at that point, I thought, whatever that little thing is, whatever that Band-Aid is, whatever that patch is, whatever it is that Tina has sent to us, I want to try it. And I'm like, give me some of those. So October 19th, this past year is when I started. And at that point, I had so many different things. Whatever was attacking my immune system was getting pretty severe. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to make this or not. But within a month, I was already seeing changes. I had, first thing I noticed was I started having energy. I started having where I was supposed to have an ablation done on my neck, because everyone knows with lupus, uh, with with any type of problems that you have with diseases, very often it is where you have arthritis. Well, I had joint problems, and I was supposed to go in and have an ablation done with my pain management doctor. And I called and I said, you know what? I don't need to come in. And he's like, you mean you just want to postpone? I said, no, I don't need to come in. And this was 2 weeks before Christmas. So I started October 19th. 2 weeks before Christmas, I was supposed to have my ablation for my neck that I could not really move, that now, as you can tell, moves amazingly. At the same time, I realized my shoulder that had been frozen since my kids, who are now 35, since they were little bitty, and I got a skateboard with them, and I'd hit my shoulder on the ground. And, one day I thought, wow, I was doing my exercise, and I thought, I wonder what that popping and crackling is. I thought, oh, great Scots, I've messed something else up in my body. And no, what that was my scar tissue was breaking apart. So my arm, I'm able to use it completely now. My joints are not sore anymore. My arthritis doctor was so impressed, because he came in and he was, I see him every 3 months, and he's like, no temperature. I'm like, no temperature, and the swelling's going down. So we had this bone hospital that was working with me, my primary, the knee doctor. We had all these people working, trying to figure out what is going on with my knee. Why is my knee hot? Why is my knee, collecting fluid? No one could figure it out. That's why we were going to Mayo. And by golly, a little tiny patch that looks like a Band-Aid, that does not have a brain in it, does not have anything other than nanocrystals, took care of my problem. It cleared and took care of my problem, what was in my knee. What was it? What was it? We don't know. I say we had every doctor working on it. I also have major problems with my eyes. And I had the last several years, I'm trying to make this fast, but the last several years, altogether between my two eyes, I'd had 7 operations on them, and they're all, for the internal portion of my eyes. The membrane started coming off of the back of the one of them. I had, the retina detached on one of them. The retina then on the other one started releasing. So we had to have that done. Now those were LASIK, but laser, but could not figure out why once my eyes were going to pieces. Well, once again, I've had all those surgeries, and my amazing doctor, the last time I saw, 2 times ago before I saw him, before he released me, he's like, I don't know what's going on, but he said, your eyes are very healthy now. And it was just where we were just anticipating the next surgery, because just one thing after another was failing with my eyes. And they did we had to have, one of the surgeries, early, that, just what everyone has done, but they need to be able to see through my corneas for whenever the one eye completely released. And so we had to do that. And he's like, whatever it is, he said, I don't, and I said, well, let me tell you. And he's like, it's okay. He said, it is working for you. And he said, and I believe, he said, I do some very functional type medicine for some of my things. And he said, I believe what you're doing is working. And he said, you are released for a year. And I've been going to see this doctor, every few months, for quite a few years now. So one patch has my eyes, my bone and joints, my mystery disease I had in my knee, my everything about me. This is taken care of. Now, do I still have a few aches and pains? Well, of course I do. I'm 64 years old, but I don't have anything now that is affecting the quality of my life. My husband, his quality of life has improved drastically. So for me wanting him to get on this because he was in such bad shape, I ended up being the one that's like, oh my gosh, let me use it. But neither one of us walk out the door in the morning without being patched up. He backs up to me and he's like, slap him on me, patch me up. And that's what we do to each other. So
Aw.
thank you, X39. And we're just so thankful that this company exists and that God gave the intelligence to David Schmidt and gave the knowledge to everyone that needed to pull this together. So we
Awesome.
are X39 and Lifewave lifers. Like I said, never did not ever think I'd be a brand partner for something like this. But when you find something good, you want to shout it from the mountaintop, and
That's right.
you want all your friends to know about it. You want people that you don't even know to be feeling good. So that's our job. That is my mission now. A retired school teacher is out shouting from the mountaintops how amazing these little patches can be. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I love you. Thank you so much for sharing tonight. I mean, how can you not get excited about that when you hear this incredible testimony of what she's done? And I told her, it's so funny, all the doctors, I mean, she's released a lot of doctors that were taking care of her body. So that's pretty cool too. So we're so glad that you're a part of this, and it's been such a blessing for you and Richard and your family. I'm so glad you shared. Thank you. So I want to share a few more testimonies because I love testimonies. I love showing what this product can do for people. This hand and foot on the left happens to be my daughter. She has dealt with chronic eczema since she was a little girl. I do want to say I do have to do my little disclaimer. I was reminded about this. Lifewave does not make any claims to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any disease. So we just have to make sure that we say that. Thank you, Chris, for reminding me of that. But she has a hand disease that had this problem. And when she started patching, this is 3 weeks on the patches. You could see all of the pain on her hand. I mean, she had trouble riding and walking because of the problems with her feet and her hands with those issues. And within 3 weeks, wearing the X39 and one of our supporting patches, it had almost completely cleared it up. So as a mama, that was huge for me because we had tried every potion and product and cream and oral medication and dermatologist and everything, and nothing was giving her relief until she started patching. So I'm so grateful that we had it to offer our children, you know. And then this gentleman on the right, this man was in a fire, and we've all seen people that have been in fires and have scarring, and you can usually tell because the scarring is so severe with a fire. So this gentleman started putting the patch on, and you can see over the course of the time that he was wearing his patch, his hand is completely back to normal, and that's not normal with fire victims. So that the pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I just think that's a really powerful picture there. So the benefits of X39: increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement in sleep, and improved skin appearance. And I can tell you, after patching for about 1.5 years now, I've experienced all of these things, and I love it. My hair is better, my skin is better, my internal body is better. My brain is more balanced. I'm happier. I don't have the racing brain that I've had most all of my life. So it has been such a blessing to me personally, let alone my husband, who has 3 ruptured discs in his back and arthritis around those discs. He's a Marine veteran and did a lot of crazy things as a young Marine, and just as a young man. And he had lived in chronic debilitating back pain ever since I've known him. So for him to be able to exercise every day, and he has such a better quality of life as well from the patches. I like to share this slide as well for athletes, because not only people that are sick and have issues need the patches, everyone needs the patches. And athletes, we have professional athletes, we have Division I athletes, we have Olympic athletes that wear the patches. As you can see on the top right corner, that's David Beckham and the swimmer Michael Phelps. when he won all the gold medals. They were both patching in these pictures. And yes, that is RFK. It is public knowledge that he is a patcher as well. And then on the right, it talks about the improvement of strength and stamina for athletes. And Bo Brannon, he's a presidential director with Lifewave, and a lot of you know who Renita is. Bo is her son, and Bo he was a Division I athlete, but he kept breaking his own record his senior year. So they drug tested him 3 times to make sure he wasn't drug enhancing, because he kept breaking his own records, and he was simply wearing the light therapy patches. And so of course he was completely clean when he was tested, because it was nothing but light therapy patches that was giving these amazing bonuses in his performance. I love this slide. It's one of my favorite slides. This is a topography map. And this is a 77-year-old woman's brain who had some kind of a neurological issue. You can see on the far right, all of that red is inflammation of the brain. So she had some kind of a neurological issue. And Rebecca was talking about that with her husband, and how much it's helped her husband with his neurological issue. So this woman, when she came in, her brain was full of inflammation. Within 3 weeks on the patches, they did another scan of her brain, and there's no more inflammation. And she had improved brain coherence. This is 3 weeks on the patches. In the third slide, the third picture, this is 6 weeks on the patches, and her brain is even more clear. So she had a complete turnaround, and she has better brain coherence, and has continued to maintain that and get better. And this topography map, it doesn't lie. I mean, this is just showing her brain and how much it has improved the quality of her life with the X39. X39 long-term results per case study. And this is at info.com, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. So that means that GHK copper peptides elevating, and the brain is starting to wake up the stem cells, and your body's going to work. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. And like I mentioned, that's one of the biggest things for me has been brain balance, which has helped with my anxiety and those other things that are caused by brain imbalances. It's been life-changing for me. And within 3 months, your collagen has increased. And I have noticed that too. And collagen is so important. We don't really think about it as much. We think about hair, skin, and nails, and we all want pretty hair, skin, and nails. But collagen is so important for our inner body. We need it for our joints and our ligaments and our bones. We need healthy collagen around our organs. And by elevating this peptide and our stem cells waking up, it increases our own collagen levels. So our collagen is increased, and it's our own collagen. We're not ingesting other collagen. It's our own collagen that is waking up and getting busy and rebuilding itself. Within 6 months, the brain becomes balanced. And I've noticed that with my own life. And we've had many testimonies of people whose hearts have become much stronger and healthy, and have actually been able to get off of heart medications. Now, you do that, of course, with your doctor. And again, we make no claims and promises with Lifewave as our disclaimers. But many people have seen tremendous help with their heart health on the X39 as well. So David Schmidt says it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. David Schmidt, CEO and inventor of X39. How do you wear the X39? Great question. You wear your patch 12 hours on and 12 hours off to repair and rejuvenate. So you put a new patch on every day, and and it's repeat, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off with a new patch every day. So you purchase a sleeve, and that has 30 days in it. And we'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. You want to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. It's very important that you drink a lot of water, because you're going to be detoxing at a cellular level. So it's really important that you're flushing all of those toxins out of your body. And it's important to take an electrolyte, because we are electrical beings. We have an electrical system, and electrolytes help feed that electrical system. It's important to mineralize ourselves with those electrolytes. So water, electrolytes, and your patches, and you are going to be doing great. Okay, the X39 is so sophisticated, yet so simple to explain. And the testimonies, as we've heard, I mean, they're just so amazing, and they just go on and on and on. And I love, Renita talks about this too, and I have a miracle inbox. I have people that send me, oh my goodness, you know what happened today, or what happened with my husband or my mom, and since we've been on the patches, and it's so thrilling to hear these stories and to know that we have an opportunity to share this with so many people. The best thing about X39 is that it works. It really works, and everybody's going to have a slightly different experience because we all have different bodies and different issues that we're dealing with. Some people we call them one patch wonders. You put that patch on and the heavens open up and amazing things happen. Typically, it takes a little bit longer for people because you're working at a cellular level to get those changes made. But it always works with everyone as long as you give it enough time and you're keeping yourself hydrated and having an electrolyte. I like to show these pictures as well because we just talked about this. This woman on the left, this is 2 weeks on the X39 and one of our supporting patches. 2 weeks. It looks like she's had a facelift. It's amazing. It's just amazing what's happened because her collagen obviously is just really ramping up and getting healthier. And on the right, this woman is from February to September, and you can see the lines under her eyes have gotten so much better, and her skin has gotten tighter. But it took her a little bit longer than the lady on the right, and that's okay because that's a huge difference in her skin in that amount of time. So while increasing and rejuvenating collagen is a byproduct of increasing the GHKCU copper peptide, the many things that helps, yes, it can also help give you a new, more youthful self. So this is at info.com. This is the website that we send everyone to learn everything you need to know about the X39 and this incredible technology. It's it's a great simple website. You can jump on there, go to thisisatinfo.com. You'll want to watch the first 2 or 3 videos, and then you scroll down. There's a whole doctor section in there that you do not want to miss. We have doctors around the world that utilize the patches and prescribe them to their patients because they see the difference it's making to them. We have a surgeon that has all of his patients wear the X39 for 30 days before he does surgery because he knows how much better their surgery is going to go and how much it's going to help their recovery. So we have doctors, like I said, around the world that love X39. And so in this website, as you scroll down there, you can see the whole section on doctors explaining why they love X39 for themselves and for their patients. So the beautiful thing about Lifewave, we are the fastest growing company in the world right now. And it's just, I feel so honored to be a part of this company, but I love that I have freedom. Because I'm an executive director with Lifewave, I do this full time. I was able to leave my job. I worked for a Christian radio station for many years, but I knew I needed a change in my life, and there were some things coming ahead of us in our life that we didn't know was going to happen, and I really needed to have a lot of freedom and flexibility. So I love that I get to do this full time. I've earned 2 free trips with Lifewave. They're so generous. They give us the moon and back, but we have great family time, freedom, security, travel, better health, and getting ourselves out of debt. That's what this company can do for us when we share it with others because it works, and we have to share. Like Rebecca said, I've heard her say many times she feels an obligation to share this with others because it's made such a difference in her husband and her life. So I guess that's our last slide for today. I thought I had one more, but if you have any questions, please reach back out to the person that invited you. We love to help you. You can even reach out to me if you need to, and I'll redirect you to whoever invited you. If you have any questions, we're always accessible. And just remember that this can change your life and change your family's life. So we're so honored that you took some time tonight to listen, and please reach out to me if you have any questions, and definitely follow up the person that invited you. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Bye.